Nothing to be had there. change. Been there, done that.
Hey, you! How's it going?
You're not one of us, huh? I'd get out of here if I were you.
Why?
This wasn't a paradise before, but at least we were left in peace as long as we did our work for Sekob. But lately it's become unbearable. Bandits are everywhere, field raiders destroy the entire harvest, and the landowner is getting to be pretty brutal.
Are you afraid of the landowner then?
You bet. If the landowner doesn't like people's faces, he sends his mercenaries after him, and that's the last you see of them. So we prefer to keep our mouths closed.
Shouldn't the mercenaries take care of the field raiders?
I don't know what they're being paid for, but certainly not to help us common people. The field raider problem is left to the small farmers who rent the fields from him.
How do you protect yourselves against the bandits?
We don't. We run away. What else?
Keep your chin up.
That's not so easy if you're working for Sekob, the slave driver.
We have to pay our contribution to the city. If we don't, we'll end up having trouble with the paladins.
So where are we headed then?
Are you the foreman here?
I'll give you one upside the head, you rascal. If you want to go ambling across my land, you'll pay me 5 gold coins, or you're in for a good thrashing.
Forget it. You won't get anything from me.
Then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to tan your hide.
Come on and try it then.
Well, in that case... Don't you try that again.
So, still got that big mouth?
Don't beat me, please! I'll even go back to work, okay?
How are things?
Ah, a new face here on the farm. Has the old skinflint finally granted me an apprentice?
I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I see. I'm not as young as I used to be, you know, and I've been waiting for a replacement for years. You aren't here because the neighbors are annoyed, are you?
What's the work you do here?
Oh, I guard the sheep, and I've been doing that for as long as I can remember. The animals are very loyal and very smart, you see. If you treat them well, they'll follow you for a lifetime.
What's the trouble with your neighbors?
Grass on this side of the big field is always so stunted and dry, so I mostly go to the big pastures of the other farmers. Ooh, the landowner doesn't mind, but Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, always makes a big deal out of it when I take the animals up there. He says Sekob should pay if I take his animals onto Bengar's pasture, but Sekob won't spend a measly coin for that, so I can't go up onto the plateau anymore.
Where can I find the high pastures in Bengar's farm?
Follow this path and cross the big crossroad. If you stick to the right, you'll see a big outcropping of rock. Behind that, to the right, are the high pastures and the pass.
Maybe I should talk to Bengar.
You do that for me? What will you tell him? I mean, I don't want any trouble, you hear?
We'll see about that. Everything else all right?
Oh, I can't complain. Thanks for asking.
Well, kiddo?
That's no way for a farmhand to talk to me. Just how often do I have to remind you?
Are you in charge here?
No, I'm only Sekop's son. But once my old man is no longer with us, then all the land you can see here will belong to me.
Amazing. Is that how you always treat your field workers?
Of course, they need that. Whoever doesn't toe the line here gets thrashed. That's the way it goes.
There's this guy who demands a toll from every passerby, claiming he's the farmer.
Yes, I know. That's Bronco. He does whatever he wants. Not that I haven't pounded it into him 1,000 times that he should finally get back to work.
But
He just doesn't do it. My father's quite annoyed with me that I still haven't managed to persuade him to go back to work.
maybe I can help you.
Do you mean that? Okay, listen, if you can get Bronco to go back to work, I'll pay you, shall we say, 10 gold pieces? What do you say?
No problem, but I want more money.
All right, 20 gold pieces then.
I want more.
30?
I want more.
Maybe 50?
All right, I'll see what I can do.
But hurry up about it.
Hey! So, still got that big mouth?
Don't beat me, please. I'll even go back to work, okay?
Hello, beautiful maid.
Stop trying to sweet-talk me, boy, and tell me what you want. I'm busy.
How's the field work coming?
Look at these huge fields we have to work, and you know how we're doing. Are you looking for farm work?
No, actually, I want to become a mercenary.
Then you're in the wrong place. You can usually find the mercenaries on the landowner's farm.
Say, the nasty fellow over there.
That's Bronco. What about him?
Is that your farmer?
Is that what he told you? Sakob is our farmer. Bronco is nothing but a layabout and a good-for-nothing, but strong as an ox. That's why nobody says anything when he doesn't work. The only people who could get him to work are the mercenaries. He's afraid of them.
And apart from that?
I'm busy.
Hey, you! Bronco's back at work.
Really? That's terrific.
Yeah, and now I want my cash.
Well, business is business, right?
What are you doing on my land? There's nothing here to steal. Clear off.
Isn't there a piece of land in this blasted country that doesn't belong to anyone?
Go to work. Then maybe someday you can call a piece of land your own. But until then, kindly loaf around somewhere else.
Listen,
I don't have any work for you at the moment. Now go.
hey! Everything all right with you?
Well, it's so-so. My back hurts from all this hard labor. What are you doing here? I don't get visitors here all that often. Usually it's either some cutthroats from the mountains or those horrible militia soldiers from the city. They've been raiding our farm rather frequently lately, but you don't look like you're one of them, or are you?
What are you doing here?
I've been asking myself that for several years. Sakab, my husband, has fallen out with everyone in the area by now. He's in debt everywhere, and so he steals goods from Onar's stocks and sells them in town. By now, he's accumulated a fortune with his underhanded dealings, and he works our field hands until their backs break. His own people call him nothing but slave driver these days. I'm not particularly proud to call myself the wife of Sakab. Believe me, sometimes I wish the barrier were still in place. Would you like to buy something to eat? Or perhaps something for hunting in the forest?
What can you offer me?
What do you want?
Barrier?
Well, it's the dome that used to enclose the old Valley of Mines. Many of the farmers and workers who committed a crime back then were simply tossed in there, and they never came back.
Why did the militia attack you on your farms here?
Because there's nobody there to prevent them from simply plundering our farms instead of buying our goods. The king is far away, and we just have to put up with working for Onar and hoping that Onar will send help when we really need it.
What does Onar's help look like?
Sometimes we receive warning in advance when some militiamen are planning to pay us a visit on their own account to rob us. Then we send somebody to the old landowner to ask him for help. And then usually, it doesn't take long for the mercenaries he pays to come here and chase off the militia. But when all is said and done, the mercenaries aren't much better.
Have you ever been at the barrier?
No, we only heard about it. Bengar, the farmer on the high pastures, can surely tell you more about that.
How can I get to Bengar's farm?
His farm is quite close to the pass which leads to the Valley of Mines. Go ask Balthazar. He's our shepherd. He sometimes leads his animals to graze on Bengar's pastures up there. He'll be able to tell you how to get there.
Keep your chin up.
Take care of yourself and don't let them get to you.
I know nothing about picking locks. All by yourself out here?
Tell me what you want of me, and then go away. I'm busy.
Who are you?
You haven't heard of me then. Herb witch, they say. Quack, they call me. But when they're in a bad way, they all suddenly remember good old Sigita and her healing herbs.
What are you doing out here?
I've been living here for as long as I can remember, attending to my herbs. The forest is my friend. It offers me all that I need.
Can you heal me?
That's what you came for, isn't it? Just let me know when there's something wrong with you.
Heal me.
Let me see. My ointment will take care of the worst of your wounds.
Can you teach me your herbal lore?
How interesting. I don't get asked that very often. So you want to be my student? Then you'll first have to prove your request is serious. At the moment, I am working on a very rare potion made from exquisite herbs and juices. If you can get me one ingredient, a very rare herb, which I don't have here, I shall train you.
Where can I find this ingredient?
The herb I require only grows in places where it can get all the nutrients it needs. These are found in the excrements of a black troll. That's why it's so difficult for me to get the herb, you see?
What ingredient is that?
It's an extremely rare plant, an herb called sun aloe. You can recognize it by its intensive almond scent.
Let's see if I can get hold of it somewhere.
Well then, good luck with your search.
What wares do you have to offer?
Tell me what you want.
Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there.
There's more, believe me.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
That's the truth.
I never knew that.
That was no big deal.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
What are you doing here?
I'm preparing for battle.
Why?
Lately, the farmers have had more and more problems with field raiders. A few of them even managed to get themselves eaten. Fat Onar didn't exactly find that amusing. None of us got our pay for a week, and it was more or less my fault. Now Lee wants me to wipe out the creature's nest by myself, and the other boys have already made bets on whether I'll survive.
Are you a good fighter?
I'm fair with a sword, but with a bow, I'm very good. Why do you ask?
Where's the nest?
In the middle of the field here, in the big rock.
We could attack that nest together.
You want to help me? Why?
I want to see some gold.
You bastard! You want to take advantage of my situation, huh? Either I pay you, or I bite the dust. All right, I can pay you 50 gold pieces. That's all I got.
Let's attack the nest.
Right now? Or do you need to equip yourself first? You could go back to the farm first.
There's no time like the present.
Good. Then let's see what you got. So, this is where they drag the dead farmers. Disgusting. The filthy things should all be wiped out now. Let's go back.
Wait a minute. What about our agreement?
Are you kidding? You didn't do anything for it.
I think your hide could do with another tanning. I don't like having my leg pulled.
Don't make me cry. Oh man, my head.
Wait a minute.
All right, you're the better fighter. What do you want?
I know nothing about picking locks. I know nothing about picking locks. Hey, you! Everything all right?
Ah, an unfamiliar wanderer. I am very busy, so what do you want?
What are you doing here?
Well, the things a woodcutter and hunter usually do.
What interesting things are there to see here?
Interesting is well put. If you go deeper into the woods here, you'll run into some very evil fellows. They're about 10 feet tall, hairy, and in a really bad mood. So don't go there if you're not strong enough for them.
Can you teach me something about hunting?
Sure, but first get me something decent to eat. I'm dying of hunger out here. I want a bottle of milk, a loaf of bread, and a fat ham. Then I'll teach you what you want.
Hey, you!
Halt! You can't go through here.
I want to talk to your leader.
Oh, I see. You want to talk to my boss. Well, then of course I'll let you through. But only if you know his name. Because if you don't, I'll be obliged to kill you. Well?
Dexter.
Well, I guess you know the boss. Okay, I'll let you through. But I'm warning you, you get too close to anybody, you won't get out of here alive. So take a deep breath and leave your weapons where they are. You'll find Dexter in the house.
And there's more, believe. You don't have to tell me that.
You don't have to ask me that.
Just listen to him talk.
Look who's here, the great emancipator. Well, hero, what are you doing here?
I'm looking for a few answers. Someone is passing around pieces of paper with my face on them. Someone told me it's you.
Somebody talks too much. But it's true. I gave my boys the wanted posters. I didn't have any other choice. When I tried to escape from the Valley of Mines, the soldiers discovered me and drove me into a trap. I thought I was done for, but then suddenly this figure appeared out of the darkness. He wore a black robe with a hood and a mask over his face, and he spoke with a voice that was altogether not human. But he offered me his help. He brought me out of the valley and offered me 1,000 gold pieces for your head. Hey, what was I supposed to do? If I'd turned him down, he'd have killed me.
Where can I find this man?
I think he's somewhere in the Valley of Mines.
And what do you intend to do now? Kill me?
Yeah, but you set us all free. That's why I'm giving you another chance. Beat it. Disappear. Make yourself invisible. Go and don't cross my path again. If I see you around here again, I won't hesitate to kill you.
It can't go on like this forever.
That's no secret.
Do you really think?
That was no big
Hey! What are you doing here?
Guarding sheep. And if possible, staying out of trouble.
Doesn't always work, does it?
Nah, especially not with the mercenaries. I'm really glad to be out here in the pasture, although it can be dangerous too.
What's so dangerous in the pasture?
There's a small pack of wolves that roams the area. Lately, the damn beasts have come by and eaten one of my sheep almost every day. A few days ago, I had almost twice as many sheep. I don't want to think what Onar will do to me when he finds out.
Why didn't you tell the mercenaries about the wolves? I thought they worked for you.
Yeah, I know. I should have done that, but I didn't, damn it. And now, with so many sheep gone, I'm afraid to tell anyone about it at all.
But you just told me.
I'm already regretting that, too.
What if I kill those wolves?
You? By yourself? I don't believe it. I'd sooner trust my bellwether to do that.
Forget it. It was just a suggestion. I'll go over to the boys and see what they say about it.
Wait a minute. Okay, you're the greatest and you can take on 100 wolves at once, no problem. Mostly they lurk between the trees near the pasture. I think there were only 4.
Hey! I've done in the wolves.
You did it! Thank Innos. But now I still don't know how to tell Onar that all those sheep are gone. It's all that damn Bulko's fault.
What did you say about Bulko?
He's one of the mercenaries. It was actually his job to guard the pasture. But instead, he and his pal Silvio hang around Thekla in the kitchen all day. It's that bastard's fault if I don't get paid for weeks because of the lost sheep. I wish I could at least punch him in the mouth for it, but nobody stands a chance against him. The guy's a killer.
Can I buy a sheep?
Anytime, if you can pay the price. A sheep will cost you 100 gold pieces. If you pay, you can take a sheep, but you have to treat it well.
How are you? And how are your sheep?
I'm fine, and so are the sheep. That is, the ones that are still here are doing all right.
Hey, you!
If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders, go talk to one of the younger mercenaries. You can come to me when the paladins show up here.
What?
Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts.
I'm not a peasant.
Oh? What is it you want then?
I want to become a mercenary.
You look more like someone who'd been born to work in the field, boy. Can you wield a weapon then? So, how about one-handed weapons?
Well...
And two-handed weapons then?
I can handle those.
Well, at least you're not a damn beginner. All right, I'm gonna vote you in. Whatever else you need to know, you can learn from me.
What should I learn first, one-handed or two-handed combat?
Those two types of arms are rather similar. As soon as you reach the next level with one type of weapon, you automatically learn for the other as well. If, for instance, you're good at fighting with one-handed swords, but still a beginner with two-handed weapons, your two-handed skills will go up as well whenever you train with a one-hander. If you train with one type of weapon only, you'll find the training more exhausting. If you always train both, you'll arrive at the same result with less effort. In the end, the outcome will be the same either way. It's your choice.
What are the advantages of one-handed or two-handed weapons?
A good question. I see you've given the subject some thought. One-handed weapons are faster, but a little weaker. Two-handers cause more damage, but you can't strike as fast. Also, you need more strength to wield a two-hander. This means additional training. The only way to become really good is to invest a lot of effort.
Teach me how to fight.
When it comes to one-handers, you're a damn beginner, but your two-handed skills aren't so bad. If you need more experience with one-handed arms, go find a different teacher. When it comes, if you need... You've become better already. Keep it up.
That's been going a long time. That's how to it differently. That's all just gossip.
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
Better off myself.
In town, they're talking about a peasants' revolt.
Nonsense. We aren't doing anything except defending what we've worked hard for. It's certainly true that the war is being fought on the backs of the peasants, but Onar is no longer prepared to just stand by and watch while the king bleeds us dry.
I'm not touching that.
Can I rest somewhere around here?
If you're looking for a place to sleep, go to the barn. But don't lie down in a mercenary's bed by mistake. Onar makes sure that they leave us farmers alone. But with strangers who don't belong on the farm, the mercenaries can do whatever they like.
No, he insisted he knew better.
What do you want from me?
Is it really true?
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I want to improve my abilities.
That doesn't surprise me. You listen to the wrong people.
Good. Now you can use your abilities better.
He insisted he knew better. That doesn't surprise me.
That was quite obvious.
That will never change.
I'm in enough trouble.
I never knew that.
I've got no time.
Teach me.
When it comes to one hand, if you need more,
That will never change.
you've become better already. Keep it up.
I couldn't get away with that.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
But he knew that all along.
That's all just gossip. Nothing amazes me anymore.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Oh, and why do you think I should be in favor of you being accepted here?
Completely. That's been known a long time.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
No.
Then what are you blathering at me for?
I'm no better off myself.
I used to say that myself.
Where did you pick that up then?
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Where did you pick that up?
And there's more, believe me.
Damn it.
You don't have to tell
as
me
much.
Wait a minute.
I never knew you could do about it.
How are things?
What do you want from me, weenie?
You tell me.
I'm not telling you.
I want to join the mercenaries.
There's no place for wimps around here.
That was obvious all along.
I am strong enough.
Nonsense. You couldn't even lift a decent sword like mine.
Is it really true to the wrong people?
I said I am strong enough.
Oh, you're killing me. Want to risk a little bet?
That himself.
I bet I can handle your sword.
Really?
That's really
How much should I relieve you of? Well, you look like a poor sucker. Let's make it 30 gold pieces. Do you even have that much?
He insisted he knew better.
Sure.
Let me see then.
Here.
All right, let's see how strong you are.
About this strong.
Looks like you got me there. I never expected that. You really don't look like you have that much strength in you. Well, I guess I just lost 30 gold pieces. Here you are.
He insisted.
Now give me back my weapon.
Don't say you didn't know that.
I think not.
What was that?
I think I'm going to keep it a little longer.
Just you wait, you bastard. And now for the fun part.
Go ahead, hit back.
Don't take any crap.
Not bad at all.
Things I can tell you.
You can't rely on
deserve
that.
that.
That's been known as a long time. I can't help it.
You just have to
Quite
listen.
obvious.
Hey, you.
You anything new?
How are things?
Don't you
Hey,
try that again.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
No idea. You tell me.
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony.
You don't have to.
Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side, but some bastard stole all the weed from my chest. I'm pretty sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Tell me you didn't know that.
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed, And then I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine. That's the way Onar wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
That's no secret. Is it really true?
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony too, but lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation. Silvio thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
You can't rely on that.
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had anything to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swamp weed reefers and you got my vote. You can surely scare some up someplace.
You hardly know who to believe these days. That will never change much. Nothing you can do about it.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
Tell me that isn't touching.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
Nobody will listen anyway.
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
You just have to listen.
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
That's no secret. I used to say that right.
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know.
Same old thing all over.
But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
I've heard a thing or two.
I'm not telling you anything new. That's been going on a long time.
Doing all right? Hey, I know you. From the colony. What do you want here?
I've come to join you.
Why not? I've got nothing against it. Anyway, you freed our mine from the guards back then. But don't count on getting along with the others here so easily. A lot of newbies have come along since then. And some of the old mercenaries won't remember you. I almost didn't recognize you. You look rather haggard.
When the barrier fell, I barely got away with my life.
Looks like you got lucky then.
There's nothing you can do about it.
This is gonna change.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
No time for things like that.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Or do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform, and then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
I'm staying out of it.
All right, you win. What do you want?
I want to join the mercenaries.
So what about handing me my sword back first, eh?
I used to say that myself.
Here's your sword back.
High time, too.
That was obvious all
It was his decision, wasn't it?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Okay, I don't carry grudges. You can fight, and that's what counts. Most of the lads here think nothing of a little brawl amongst friends. You'll get used to that. As far as I'm concerned, you're in.
Can you teach me how to handle two-handed weapons?
I'm not a bad fighter, but that doesn't mean I'm a good teacher. Still, I think I can show you the basics of two-handed combat anyway.
I'm no better off myself.
Just listen to him talk.
How's it going?
I'm curious to see whether they'll let you join.
That's not what I heard.
I'm not touching that.
Hey, you!
Nothing amazes me anymore.
What's up?
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
Most of them came from the penal colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs. I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal. Huh.
What do you know about the mercenaries from the south?
Not much. So far as I know, they were hunting orcs there. Silvio is their boss. Bulko, Sentenza, Raul, and a few others work for him.
What do you know about the
Not much. Silvio.
Which one of them came from the colony?
Lee and his people. Torloff, Cord, Jarvis, Wolf, and whoever else.
What bandits were you talking about?
I'm just blabbering. I'm not really sure about it. There are mountains with abandoned mines south of the valley. Some bandits are hiding up there. They're also convicts from the colony, just like most of the mercenaries in this court. The only difference is that they're even worse scum. They kill anyone who gets too close.
I'm in enough trouble as it is. I can't believe
I'm staying out of it.
Doesn't surprise me. That's
nobody ever asked for my opinion.
No one
would say you didn't know that.
Cypher told me somebody stole a package of swamp weed from him.
And?
He thinks you're the one who took it.
Oh, that's why the guy is always gawping at me so stupidly. I've been extra friendly to him lately because he seems to have hit a rough spot. But there was nothing I could do. I'd look at him friendly-like and he'd stare at me like he wanted to kill me.
Give me that weed or else.
Listen, all I've got is this one reefer of weed. Take it and leave me alone. You know that Onar's mercenaries look out for us, right? So don't do anything stupid.
I don't believe a word you're saying. Give me the swamp weed.
I don't have it. Honest.
Nobody thought of that himself from me.
Nobody wants to deserve that.
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
No. I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
Cypher told me that someone stole a package of swamp weed from him. Would you know anything about that?
No.
Where's the package?
What do I know?
I'll knock it out of you.
Relax, I'm way too stoned to fight with you. Here, first take a big toke.
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment. Just you wait.
Where's the package?
Okay. I sold it to some bum in town. It was at the harbor. I can't remember what he looked like.
Could it be that you need another thrashing?
Honest, man, I was totally stoned. I don't have the slightest idea what the guy looked like. It was at the harbor near the boat builders. That's all I can remember.
I agree with you completely.
Hey, you! About the swamp weed. Here's a few stalks for you.
Oh, you are my man. You've got my vote.
I know who took your weed.
Who? Was it that Bodo?
No, one of the mercenaries did it. Dar.
That bastard. Where is he?
Finding him won't help you. He doesn't have the package anymore. He sold it in Corinus.
Where is he?
Behind the kitchen building on the corner.
I'll flatten him. You poor sucker. You didn't even have any gold on you.
Wait a minute. You really gave Dar what for? Are you feeling better now?
Yeah, that felt good.
Not to him, I suppose.
The little beggar
Well,
has no
we'll see the
business
next
going
time.
through my chest.
Would this package of swamp weed happen to be yours?
Well, I'll be... Where'd you get that?
It's a long story.
Doesn't matter. Really, you're a decent guy. Here, take this as a reward. Have fun with it. First, let me roll a few.
Show me your wares.
Sure, help yourself.
Blabbermouth, you told Cypher I took his weed. Like hell will I vote for you.
Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally wrecked.
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm. That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries. We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people who guard the farm. The building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
What about the mercenaries?
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep, and us farmers. So don't even think about stealing anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Hey, you!
I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here. Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torloff and let him put you to the test. Where did you pick that up then? Can't believe that.
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces.
Maybe later.
Anything from me.
Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons.
But you don't even know the basics. First, you need to learn how to forge a decent sword. Then we'll see.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. 2 factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
How come there are 2 factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the Orcs. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here and wants to take advantage of the situation. Plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torloff and let him explain it if you're interested. Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulko. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose is your business. Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make mincemeat out of you.
What are you doing here in my kitchen?
Something smells delicious here.
Oh, yes. I know the likes of you. They're swarming all over the place. First, they try to get on your good side, and then when you need them, they're nowhere to be seen.
Those are all just rumors.
I'm hungry.
I don't dish out food to tramps. I only feed people who work. And that mercenary riffraff, of course.
And that's the truth.
I'm looking for work.
You want to work here on the farm? Only Onar can decide that. The farm is his, and so is the entire valley.
Actually, I was planning to join the mercenaries.
So you're another of those felons from the penal colony? I might have known. Just leave me alone. There's already enough of your kind around here.
What's your problem with the mercenaries?
Ah, those morons really get on my nerves, especially Silvio and his fat buddy Bulko. The two of them have been sitting in their corner for days now, making life miserable for me. The soup's too hot, the meat's too tough, etc. and so forth.
Then why don't you do anything about it?
And what am I to do, Mr. Smarty Pants? Whack them with my rolling pin? I can do that to the farmers, but these lowly bastards just hit back.
There've been all kinds of rumors.
Want me to teach the two of them some manners?
You better not try that, honey. As far as I know, Silvio has magic armor. He can't be defeated.
And what about Bulko?
That guy is as strong as an ox. So far, he has flattened anyone who tried to mess with him or Silvio.
Just have to listen.
I need a place to sleep.
Don't even think about sleeping in my kitchen. Go find yourself a place in the barn.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
I'm not touching that. Will it ever change?
He thinks it's as easy as that.
I've heard a thing or two.
Hey,
Never knew that.
where you think you're going?
To the house, of course.
Onar pays us not to let guys like you in here.
I want to talk to Lee.
What do you want from him?
I want to join the mercenaries.
Fresh cannon fodder. Then go on in. Lee's in the right wing. Don't even think about wandering around anywhere else. But above all, leave Onar alone. He doesn't like it when people talk to him without being asked. Especially not guys like you.
Do you really believe that? Do you really know that?
Everything fine with you?
If it's something important, go talk to Lee. Otherwise, leave me alone.
Who the devil let you in here? What are you doing here? I thought you were dead.
What makes you think that?
Gorn told me it was you who brought down the barrier.
Yes, that was me, all right.
I never would have thought that a man could survive something like that. What brings you here? You aren't here without a reason.
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
How can you help me get to the paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions. And the less the paladins have to eat, the sooner they'll listen when I finally make them an offer of peace.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sure.
He got caught by the paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with paladins and orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
Everything fine with you?
So, you want to join us then, hmm? Do you even have a decent weapon?
How did you end up with the mercenaries?
I came with Silvio from the south. We belong to an army of mercenaries which fought against the orcs.
What's your opinion of Silvio?
He's a dangerous fella, and many of the mercenaries who came with him this far listen to what he says. Better not pick a fight with him.
What's your opinion of Lee?
I think that the only thing Lee is really interested in is getting away from this island. He wants to go to the mainland. Seems to have a bone to pick with someone there. At any rate, he does a far better job than Silvio ever could. Moreover, he's a good leader. Most of the time we can do whatever we want here.
Would you mind if I joined you?
Once you have passed the test, I shall vote for you.
What weapons do you have to offer?
Only the best. Just take a look at them.
Don't even think about touching anything here. Otherwise, you'll get a couple upside the head. Got it?
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the penal colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right, and most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be?
I collect old coins.
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
I've got an old coin here.
Show me. Oh yeah? That won't bring much on the open market. I'll pay you a gold piece for it. Exactly as much as it used to be worth.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Nothing doing. I'm not a loony. Beat it.
I've got an old coin here.
You know what I'm prepared to pay for it, you dog. 1 gold piece, no more.
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Ah, damn, all right. 2 gold coins for every old coin you can bring me. That's my final offer.
It's a deal.
Good. Here's 2 gold coins.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father, and he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself. The money that I save this way can pay for my own army.
Thanks to Bulko, you now have a few sheep less.
And what are you talking about? Who is Bulko?
One of the mercenaries.
How would that interest me? If he's been after my sheep, he'll have to answer to Lee. So why are you bugging me with such trivial details?
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then? See a sheep anywhere?
If
you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
Onar now has a few sheep less thanks to Bulko.
Oh, leave me alone with that shit. I've had enough trouble as it is.
Who are you?
I am Onar's wife, Maria. What do you want here?
I just wanted to have a look around here.
With all these men on the farm now, there's no peace to be had inside the house. They just keep barging in here.
Do the mercenaries bother you?
Oh, well. At least the farm has been a lot safer since the mercenaries came. Back when we were still on our own, the militia came from town all the time to plunder our provisions. They dragged off the better part of the harvest, and they took some sheep, too. They did nothing for us in return. A few of those scoundrels even stole from us.
Tell me about Onar.
He's a good man, a little grumpy and very impatient, but we've all got our faults. I told my husband, "Why do you let the soldiers from the city treat you like that? Do something," I said. So he hired the mercenaries. Now I feel like I'm in the middle of a war. But then, we are at war, aren't we?
So what did they steal from you?
Mostly gold and silver. They even took my wedding present, a golden plate. I bet it's now gathering dust in the chest of some filthy city guard.
Has anything exciting happened here lately?
The paladins passed by here. At first, we thought they were going to attack the farm, but they were headed for the Valley of Mines.
He insisted he knew better. I'm in enough trouble. See that?
Been there, done that.
Hey!
It was just like you said.
Really believe that?
What are the rules for a duel?
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine, so here we go. There are two things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test.
What I heard.
That was no big deal.
And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
Is it really true?
Nobody wants to know.
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test.
That's all just gossip.
But you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident. because then you'll have a big problem.
You hardly used to say that these days.
So why won't they listen to me?
Didn't know that.
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for 2 reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay.
I don't believe this is
So, what'll it be?
I can't help it. That's all just gossip.
I'll deal with the militia, don't worry.
The farmer Bengar has complained that lately the militia from the city has been getting on his nerves. They're pressuring the farmer, probably trying to make him break with Onar. I want you to go to his farm and make it clear to the militia that they have no business there. Questions?
How can I find Bengar's farm?
In the southwest of the valley is a big stairway that leads to a high plain. That's where Bengar's farm is. If you get lost, ask the farmers in the fields how to find your way around the area.
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
Business. Will it ever change?
And there's more, believe me.
That doesn't surprise me.
Teach me how.
When it comes to what, if you need, you've become better already. Keep it up.